In our first story, 3 former appointees of the John Mahama-led administration, they have been cautioned by the police CID on a charge of stealing. The 3, former Lands and Natural Resources Minister Inusa Fuseini, former Minister of State Comfort Doye Gansa, and former Bonafu Regional Minister Eric Opoku, are being investigated by the police CID following accusations some earned double salaries while serving as MPs and Ministers of State. They are to report at the police CID on May 14 as investigations continue. There's more in the following report.
Led by their lawyer Victor Kojogan Daudu, the 3 former appointees headed to the CID headquarters on Tuesday after hours of meeting the minority leader in Parliament. Former Lands and Natural Resources Minister Inusa Fuseini told pressmen they were cautioned by the CID on a charge of stealing. He, however, accused government of trying to silence vocal members of the minority.
I have not stolen from government, and I will not steal from government. The specific offense that they say they are investigating me for is stealing. If you steal with the use of force, you become a what? An armed robber. So I have not stolen, and I deny the charge with all the strength in me. I have not stolen anybody's property, not even government. Yeah.
So are you to report back?
Well, I'm to report back on the 14th of May at 9 o'clock, and I will ensure that I report back. Calumny has taken a better hold of this country, and that we are prepared to go after political opponents with such abiding fury.
For MP for Ada constituency Comfort Doye Gansa, the pay structure used by the past administration is no different from what the current government is using.
A thief. Me, I'm not a thief. I work for the state, and the state gave me what I deserve. They have good accountants there. They have good people at the finance, and they have good auditors at the finance. If I owe the state, they will even write first to alert you that you owe the state. And if they have not done that, they can do that too on a quiet without our knowledge as a group. But they shouldn't target us because we are NDC. They shouldn't target us because whatever was given to me, President himself have benefited from it before.
But not all the NDC MPs who served as ministers are being investigated. So why do you interpret it directly as an attack?
Everybody got it. If they didn't serve anybody, because if you don't receive it pieces, they give it to you in bulk.
As it stands, the state is yet to formally charge them. Lawyer Victor Daudu is confident the charges will fall flat if the matter goes to court.
This is one of the most ridiculous things, because if they say stealing, what are we stealing? And one of my clients said, I'm not a thief, I'm a member of parliament. So that's for her, she's not a thief. And they haven't stolen anything. We will wait. We will not impede them. Let's do their investigation. We've not been told who is a complainer in the matter so that we can confront our accuser. Now we are seeing novelty in criminal proceedings. We will wait. But I can assure everybody, with the strength in me and everything backed by the law, that this will not go anywhere.
The 3 former ministers are to report at the CID headquarters on May 14.
So we'll bring you a lot more on that, but let's move on. Some basic schools which were destroyed by a rainstorm in the Boku West district of the Upper East region have now been repaired, and pupils there will no longer have to study at the mercy of bad weather. Well, the Boku West District Assembly renovated the Timonde Primary School and the Kukruzua Primary and Junior High Schools after their roofs were ripped off during the storm. The Assembly also connected the schools to the national grid as part of efforts to improve education in the area. Well, the Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert Sorry now brings us more.
Pupils of the Timonde Primary School, as well as the Kukruzua Primary and Junior High Schools in the Boku West District, were left with no option but to keep having their lessons in roofless classrooms and at the mercy of bad weather. This was after a rainstorm ripped off the roofing of the schools sometime last year. School authorities say due to the situation, there were times when lessons had to be cut short when it threatened to rain. 6 months ago, the Boko West District Assembly intervened and started renovation of the schools. The renovation works are now complete, and the schools have also been connected with electricity and handed over to the Ghana Education Service Directorate. Victoria Ayamba is Boko West District Chief Executive.
These projects about 6 months ago were in a very deplorable state. People could not use them in their teaching, learning activities. To fulfill government policy on free education, the Assembly decided to improve on educational infrastructure at the basic level. We have therefore re-roofed several rip-off schools in communities such as Sapeliga, Kari, Zambwiri. Major rehabilitation for Boya, Kukuzo, and Timone Primary School, as well as GES Directorate. We are also putting up new classroom blocks and continue with ongoing educational projects.
Head teachers of the schools were happy that the Boko West District Assembly responded to their calls by not only renovating the schools, but going on to improve upon them with the connection of electricity and new ICT laboratories. Amadou Dauda is the headmaster of the Kukuruzwa Junior High School.
So the whole of last year, 2017, in fact, it was so hectic. So what we did was that we wrote again to the assembly, and then, in fact, they responded very well. Initially, it was impeding all our state. Anytime there's classes, anytime it's raining, no classes. We thank the District Assembly for this wonderful job that they able to do.
Some pupils of the two schools also spoke to JoyNews.
Now, there is no electricity in the school. Though, last time we were not able to study in the evening, but now we always come back and study.
And our school was not well constructed. We are not feeling happy and we are feeling it difficult to study. So due to that, we are lacking. So as soon as the school is well constructed, we can now study.
The Boko West District Assembly also handed over renovated offices to the District Education Directorate. Reporting for JoyNews, Albert Sori, Zebila, Upper East Region.
In health, biomedical scientists warn that Ghana's health system may collapse if laboratory services continue to be neglected. The president of the Professional Association, Dr. Ignatius Awinobono, says members are sidelined in decision-making processes at the various health facilities. At a forum in Kumasi on International Laboratory Science Day, Dr. Awinobono advocated managerial inclusion for biomedical scientists.
The lack of policy.
He believes Ghana's ability to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals depends on a strong healthcare system hinged on efficient laboratory services.
We are concerned and assigned to the periphery when we should actually be at the core of service delivery. From the CHIPS compound even to the most sophisticated quaternary health facility, laboratory services cannot be dispensed with. Unfortunately, we have no say in the way the health sector is run. We are more of implementers than policy makers. And decisions are taken and pushed down our throats. I would want to appeal strongly to the managers of our healthcare to begin to give mainstream roles to medical laboratory scientists.
This year's occasion is under the 2017 theme, Antimicrobial Resistance, by medical scientists respond to threat. It follows concerns about dangerous antimicrobial resistance posed to the country's healthcare delivery. Head of Molecular Medicine at the School of Medical Sciences, KNUST, Professor Francis Ajima-Frimpong, urges government to properly equip laboratories to improve surveillance.
Lack of strict adherence to treatment guidelines regarding antimicrobials, ease of access to antibiotics from community drug peddlers, and also the indiscriminate use of over-the-counter drugs. weak antibiotic surveillance system, and lack of data analysis or review of laboratory records to establish antibiotics for empirical treatment in facilities prior to testing. And finally, but not the least, irrational use of antibiotics for animal rearing, resulting in traces of antibiotics in such animals, such are consumed subsequently.
Minister of Health Kraboa Menu underscored the need for national treatment policies such as combination therapy and rational prescription. Chief Executive Officer of Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, Dr. Hineba Usudanso, says application of modern technology will also be critical. He charged laboratory scientists to collaborate with government implementation of the antimicrobial resistance national action plan and policy.
Scientists to collaborate with the government to ensure that portions of the AMR policy and national action plan that relate to your practice are appropriately implemented for the benefit of our citizenry.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
And still on health, the country representative for the World Health Organization, Dr. Owen Kraboa, has advised African leaders to take responsibility for the healthcare needs of their citizens, all in a bid to help achieve universal health coverage on the continent. He indicated, though achieving universal health coverage by 2030 is an ambitious vision, it could be achieved if political leaders pursued a purposeful as well as a sustained investment in the health sector with the citizenry and academia, forming a synergy to support the cause. He was speaking on the topic at the John Evans Atamils Public Lecture held by the University of Health and Allied Sciences in Ho.
The John Evans Atamils Public Lecture is organized annually to recognize individuals who have contributed in diverse ways to the improvement of healthcare across the African continent. It also serves as a platform for discussion of issues impeding healthcare and how best they can be resolved. Speaking on the topic, Transform Health and Accelerate Sustainable Development Goal in Africa, addressing universal health coverage through regional and global transformation, Dr. Owen Kraboa commended Africa for witnessing rapid economic growth in health outcomes. He, however, indicated there is imminent increase in demand for better health care due to population growth and underscored the need for a compulsory public financing mechanism to meet the increasing demands.
And African countries need to take responsibility for health of their citizens. Governments should vigorously pursue a more purposeful and sustained investment in health and well-being. And the academic community has a role here in research and generation of evidence, tapping into advances in technologies and generating appropriately skilled workforce, which are critical for reaching universal health coverage.
The Vice Chancellor of UHAS, Professor John Japon, assured of his institution's commitment to producing well-baked health professionals to complement efforts in improving health care. A 10-year strategic plan for UHAS, which contains 10 key strategic objectives to enhance achieved health projections in the country's 40 years development plan and sustainable development goals, was launched at the lecture.
We know that we live in an environment that is very sensitive to political changes, economic issues, the social issues, and therefore we are very mindful of all these. We've identified them and we want to ensure that this is done appropriately.
3 distinguished individuals were honored for their tremendous contribution to the health sector in Ghana and Africa. A former Deputy Health Minister, Dr. Moses Adibo, the Chief Executive Officer of Kinafama Limited, Kofi Nsia-Poku, and the first woman African Regional Director of the World Health Organization, Dr. Machidiso Rebecca Natalie Moweti, were decorated with honorary doctorate degrees. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews. Ho.
Well, and before we go, let's bring you an interesting story, because in the eastern region is a town named Kota. That town is the district capital of Kraboa Kota. And surprisingly, though, it's named Kota, but the town can't boast of a kilometer of tarred road. Maxwell Kudeko visited the community and now reports that this will, however, change soon thanks to an intervention by President Akufo-Addo.
People of Kraboa Kota district in the eastern region are expressing their gratitude to President Akufo-Addo and his government for awarding a contract for the construction of the Aduajiri Kota road. Kota is the district capital for the Kraboa Kota district, but is one of the districts with poor infrastructure, including poor roads in the eastern region. Even though the district is named Kota, the town doesn't have a single kilometer of tarred road. The situation has been so since colonial days. For the first time, the people of Kota will be driving on a tarred road from Aduajiri to the district capital Kota. At a debate to announce the award of contract for the construction of the Aduajiri Kota road, Chief of Kota Berima Opoku Ajiman explained how the community was named Kota but doesn't have a single kilometer of tarred road.
Na dan bi si aseho nti akoye se bia ufi dokoto na ufi kufi pa na wo ba na saa dan no wodi Kota de atwa ase wodi Kota de atwa ase nti upodu ope no ka se twem wo be bia Kota na wo no na de to di Kota na fi Kwame Nkrumah breso be pemo se me yen captain Kota no kura kakra kura ngusu nti ne eyen ni je meyen de se ne aban na bue kwan se ba be yeyen kwan na maye na ye clinic nko na wo ha nti se obi yare na onya ko clinic na wa orfen konsawum ko suhum ko samankase ko kofodua ni nyina how nti ye stress wonna no mesi this is capital hospital in Famaye, into me masas 20 acres.
The Kota Youth for Development, some residents and drivers of the area spoke to JoyNews.
It's a time memorial because since Nkrumah's era, the promise have come so much. Nothing has been done. You know. So we are thankful to the government for this time that giving it to the contractor to come and then build this road for us. It will help us. This way we are farming area, farming community. There are a lot of things, a lot of farm. We produce cassava, plantain, all sort of products.
This road, it affected us, even our shops, even our car itself. If you buy the car, it don't take long because it's just spoiled. We have appealed to the president, old one and former ones, but it has not been done. But this president said he will do it for us. We like it, and we appreciate him to help us to do the road for us.
To happen for say drana jokra na say awo kan obi a ana ya rebu obi a o ko freight driver was you ade asa kwan nye into on to me nti yesra
samai ada say film fra no ko ka be fra na nye nti na ro no be on cho no ni me hwe ya bre ya ko shop a ni ama ya to ya boka be bi nti mo ntwe wani me hwe na ro no be ya srom ya shop ya to ko abo so kan ni ama kwa ntimi nto ya cars ni ama nyina asese.
And that'll be it for the latest news headlines. We have more news. We'll be looking at the headlines, front page, back pages of the newspapers. We'll also be looking at the various online portals, myjohnonline.com as always, and the rest. And then we'll look at what stories there are also on the various, look at social media pages we're looking at. My John Online TV is always available for you on YouTube, just in case you want to watch the latest with good data you have on YouTube. We're streaming there live. We're taking a break. Myself, Mama Viuso Abwaje will be doing the newspapers and the online portals next. Do stay on. We'll be right back.